Welcome to the Devils You Know. Skating down the ice. Let's fill a little air horn and drop this down. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Devils You Know podcast. I am JJ, your host. Tonight we had a barn burner, as they call them. I don't know. Do they call them that? Who knows? Did you watch the Devils game tonight? It's October 21st, 2025. The Devils were in Toronto tonight. Great things happened. Great things. Some not so great, but mostly great. And the Devils are on a 5-game winning streak. At first, it was like, wait a second, the Devils won 3 in a row. They haven't won 4 in a row in a long time. They did it. They did it in a wonderful fashion. And then they've made it 5 in Toronto, which is hard to do. You go into Toronto, it's pressure. You're now on a winning streak on a team. Okay, but I also got to say the Devils also in the 40th anniversary season, they had the most points any Devils team has ever had in history. Things are a little different these days, but they were under a little bit of pressure to do that also, to get the most wins, So, anyway, Brett Pesce, thank God he's signed longer than like a 2-year deal. Thank God they didn't bring Brett Pesce in for a 1-2-year deal, not even a 3-year deal. I would have been upset about that. Brett Pesce is a New Jersey Devil staple. And I guarantee Gino the Devil Dog is drinking a lot of water right now. So I want to make sure I hear where he is because it's dark in here. Anyway, so Brett Pesce is I'll find out where he is after. All right, so having Brett Pesce in the lineup is just one of the best things that could have ever happened to the Devils. He blocks shots. He does great things. If you check out my highlight reel that I actually forgot to upload and upload and save, which was really stupid of me. Season 2? No. We'll go to Game 6, Toronto highlights. I'm going to post that up right after I record this. I made a highlight video. I'm going to start. I do all the clips on Twitter, on X. Every goal is posted within a minute or so of it happening. If you're not aware of this, at Devil's Joint X. Also, I post great plays, great blocks, great defensive plays, even just great passes and plays that didn't result in goals. I like to post hockey videos. I am now an official Fanatics content creator. The link is in the description on YouTube. I just said description in the description on my live YouTube video, but I gotta add it to some things. But I'm not even sure really how this works. I have a Fanatics creator profile, Devil's Joint. I guess I put the link up on my social medias or whatnot, and then you can go through my shop and get discounts. And then obviously I get commissions from that. I believe that's how it works. And also you sign up for campaigns, all different kinds of campaigns. So like I'll do some promotions for this or that, which I've already done for Fanatics, If you know me, you know about me and Fanatics. So anyway, let's get further into the game. Luke Glendening, his second assist tonight. I think great idea to sign him on the PTO. Needed a solid center. He's a face-off winner. He's a penalty killer. What has he been in the league for 13 years now? Psh, great signing. Now the one thing I think that I would like to see if once the Devils, slow down from their, the 5-game winning streak, they're on roll. Once they get, stifled because they are playing back-to-backs. They're playing Minnesota in less than 24 hours from me recording this. I don't know if they're going to win or lose. Let's go for 6 in a row. But let's say they get to the Devils. I've witnessed them get up to 12, 13 in a row. In my time. Let's say they get a few more wins and then they lose one, they win one, then they lose two. And there's still only 15 games into the season. I would love to see Palat and Gritzuk be switched. So Gritzuk go from the third line right up to play with Jack and Bratt. It would be like a very small line, but they would be fast. And I know Palat brings a lot to the combination of Bratt and Jack Hughes, which is a lethal combo. Now, Jack Hughes had a hat trick in this game tonight against Toronto in Toronto. He had a hat trick. An empty net goal was the last one, but nonetheless, a hat trick. Many hat tricks have been finished with empty net goals, and no one has ever bitched about it because it's the NHL and it's hard to get an empty net goal if you're a hockey player in the NHL. I would like to see anyone listening to this right now get on the ice and get their hands on the puck and try and get it into an empty net with those players on the ice. It's not easy to do. It sounds easy. They don't have a goalie in it. Well, you got to get the puck close enough. You got to have aim. You got to get it in the net, whatever. Jack Hughes had a hat trick tonight. Every one of his goals was assisted by who? Bratt, man. Jesper Bratt. Okay? Now, Jack Hughes has 6 goals on the season. 5 of those goals were assisted by Bratt. Bratt has 3 goals. One of them assisted by Hughes. Points-wise, from off the top of my head, Bratt has 10 points, 7 assists, 3 goals. So 5 of those assists are on Jack Hughes goals. Jack Hughes has 6 goals, 3 assists, 9 points. So Bratt has 10 points, Jack Hughes has 9 points. Bratt is a +3, and I believe Jack Hughes is a +1. So that gives Bratt the advantage, in my opinion. Playmakers are the makers of the play. I guess I was about to say like a Willy Wonka kind of thing, like the dreamers of the dream. No, but really, like a playmaker like Bratt, this is a guy who can send passes to Jack Hughes that no other player could do. I would like to hear what player you could put with Jack Hughes that would be able to give Hughes those feeds that he gets from Bratt. The first goal tonight he scored was a saucer pass. Great pass. His second goal was a pass out of the zone. Saw him, got it past a couple of guys. They might not have been all tight, but easily could have been stopped. But not just for Bratt's pass. No. And I'm sure you've noticed either wherever you're here listening to this, whether it be Spotify, YouTube, Substack. I'm sure you've noticed the photo that's behind me if you're watching the video or the thumbnail with Brian Hallinan. Now that's another thing. We'll get into that. We'll get into that in a second. I love Connor Brown. Gotta say, he didn't score or anything tonight, but I believe he had an assist. But I feel bad for Paul Cotter. I'm starting to feel bad for Paul Cotter. He's stuck on the fourth line. You got Hallinan on the fourth line, who, you know, was excellent for the Devils tonight. Hallinan had a great game, playing with Glendening and Cotter, Hallinan. But Cotter, you know, the thing is, Cotter can score. But with Glendening and Hallinan, once Nason comes back, then you got to rethink a lot of things. When Nason comes back, what are you going to do with Connor Brown? You going to put him on the fourth line? Or you going to put Nason on the third line, Connor Brown on the fourth line, and then Hallinan's gone? Now, if you got either one of those guys playing with Glendening and Cotter, you have a solid fourth line scoring line, along with a tough line, but not as tough as with Hallinan. Hallinan is like a demon. When I saw Hallinan's face last Thursday, like up close, I didn't really talk to him, but looking at his face from a foot away, he's a scary looking guy. Watch the video; it's on my Twitter account. Watch the Beatdown. Just watch the Beatdown and watch his face afterwards. He's a scary motherfucker. He would have been a good professional wrestler in the 90s because he was like a Vince McMahon kind of. He looks like a Vince McMahon kind of guy that he would have brought in as a, some sort of character that was evil. Like, he has that face where he could have been like Kane if, Glenn Jacobs wasn't Kane, for instance. Also, that guy that was Adam Bomb. Remember Adam Bomb from WWF? He could have been Kane, too. Little break there. All right, so the first goal was Jack Hughes, but that wasn't the first goal. The first goal was John Tavares. It was 1-0 Toronto. The Devils have not been a first-period team. They've actually been played well, but they have not scored well in the first period. That all changed, though. It was 1-0 Toronto. You go into the second period, and within 3 minutes, you got Jack Hughes, you got Cody Glass, and then and then Brendan Dillon. I almost forgot. And then Brendan Dillon scores the third goal, all in about 3 minutes 49 seconds, something like that. Don't quote me. 3 minutes 39 seconds, whatever. Under 4 minutes, though. I know that for sure. So Luke Hughes had his fourth assist tonight. I'm assuming. No. Actually, he has more than that. Jack Hughes had the fourth goal. Why am I thinking about Luke Hughes? My mind is going crazy. I record this stuff. It's 12:52 a.m. Give me a break. So then Jack Hughes has the fourth goal to make it 4-2, pad that lead. Now, like last game, not was it last game? When they played Edmonton, Lazar scored late, right? That kind of sucked. We don't want that stuff to happen. Allen today, chef's kiss late. He was great late. Actually, I forgot to add that clip into my highlight reel. That's very. Damn it! How did I forget to put the Allen video into the highlight reel? Either way, then Hughes gets the empty netter. It's a 5-2 thing. You think it's over, but it's not. Then you have Brian Hallinan bringing in the big gun and fucking just pounding. I love the photo behind me, but you know what we're going to do? We're going to turn the volume down and we're going to get the Hallinan, the audio. We're going to listen to the audio of the Hallinan fight. I'm just going to share my... No, I don't want to share media. Well, I do have. I guess I could share media. Sure, share media. Let's go to Game 6, Toronto and Hallinan. All right, so here we go. Ready? It's gonna be up on my screen if you're watching. If not, give it a listen.
Simone Benoit with 16 seconds to go in the third period.
That developed out of nothing.
That developed out of nothing. That's from the Sportsnet feed, I believe. Yeah, so Brian Hallinan ended the game letting Toronto know, we will be back. We are the New Jersey Devils. We come from a winning background. We've come from a winning heritage. We are now coming back to our roots. And with that, I would like to say thank you for listening. Check out my Fanatics Creators page if it's available yet. I'm working on that. Check out at Devil's Joint X on Twitter, X, on YouTube, on Instagram. You can check all that shit out. There's a bunch, I have the best videos, the best WWF memes. I'm doing a lot of wrestling promo videos. So every game now I have Bret Hart taking Rowdy Piper and slamming him down, face down on the ropes, and Bret Hart's covered with the Devil's logo on his head, and Rowdy Piper, I put the team over him, and he gets smashed down. I also did Shawn Michaels kicking Marty Jannetty and then throwing him through the barbershop window. We did that one with Toronto today. So I'm doing a lot of, this is like WWF, not even WWE, because I'm going as far back with Ultimate Warrior, stuff like that. Macho Man, WWF Devils meme season on Twitter and Instagram. YouTube will not play the videos. They won't let me play them because the wrestling videos, it's even worse than the hockey videos. So, anyway, check that stuff out. The Fanatics creator, Devil's Joint. Get some discounts. We could all work together and all be one big happy family. And another thing regarding fantasy, today I fucked up my fantasy league. I made a stupid move last night. I changed some of the points. I figured I'd do a 1 week where, now if you've ever played fantasy, listen to this and tell me if this is crazy, where you take 1 week, just for 1 week, and you pick like 4 things and you boost them by like 1 point each. So like, let's say shorthanded goals, you get an extra 0.5 on a goal, and if you get shorthanded, you get 1.5. I make it 1 for the week, and it's only a few little things. It's not a huge difference. It just kind of, you could, you either pick like a defensive thing or offensive thing, and then you boost that just for one week. And in a couple of leagues I've been in, like, it happened like 3 or 4 weeks out of the whole year, where like it was like a goaltending boost, an offensive boost, a defensive boost, and then a full team boost on 1 week. So I don't know. I did that, and people got mad, and they wanted to, they started deleting their teams, and not deleting. They couldn't delete the team, but just putting all their players on waivers and saying they're out. And if you're listening to this, buddy, I apologize. He apologized to me, but I hope he comes back and fixes that. Anyway, This is the Devils you know, and you know the Devils have won 5 in a row. And if you tell me that Don LaGreca isn't the best play-by-play guy that the Devils have had since Doc Emmerich, you're out of your fucking mind. And I'll tell you that straight to your face, that you're out of your fucking mind. So never forget it. And let me tell you one more thing. The Devils you know knows you are the Devils that I know, that you know, that we know. We won 5 in a row. Let's go. Woo. Let's go.